Hi friends, it's great to see you today. This lesson is all about just navigating through our Engaged Learning Group project for our Smithsonian disaster. This website is going to be your home base for everything that you need to do to keep yourself up to date, up to the minute, to make sure that you are in the right spot, on the right time, and everything that you need to make sure that your project is spot on, wonderful. This first page, I'm going to go ahead and click on right up here. I'm going to talk to you about how to get to this particular website. I have shortened this URL, so you'll use a tinyurl.com beginning of your web address. So you'll type in tinyurl.com and / Walker Group MDP. That's the shortened URL for this particular website. Go ahead and click enter, and it's going to take you to your home page for the website, Smithsonian Disaster. Remember yesterday we talked about how the Smithsonian has been damaged by a fire and pieces of really valuable history were destroyed within minutes. And as devastating as that news was, it was also kind of exciting in the fact that you have been chosen to replicate those lost artifacts of history related to a specific historical figure in America that we've studied this year. So let's go ahead and go to our introduction page. Our introduction just sets up the story once again, but it also adds another element that I didn't talk to you about yesterday. Not only will you be sharing your knowledge with me, your peers, and a larger audience by sharing your presentation, you'll also be judged by curators at the 6th Cavalry Museum to be placed on their website as an online exhibit for the coming year. Your 5th grade students from all over the county, not just you, but all over the county, will be competing for positions in that online exhibit. So make sure yours stands out from the very start. So how are we going to do that? Let's start with our task. On this particular page, it's going to talk to you about the 5 phases of this project. You're going to check in with your facilitator before moving on to the next phase at each time. So after phase 1, you'll check in with me or another facilitator. At phase 2, you'll check in with another facilitator. After phase 3, you'll check in with the facilitator again. So there are going to be 5 checkpoints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that you will be meeting with your facilitator so that they can give you feedback on your work and make sure that it really is the best that you can offer. So phase 1 is where you become a historical expert on a figure. You're going to choose a figure from the list of individuals that we have, and you will be researching using a web quest. You'll report your choice to your facilitator once you've made your decision. Phase 2 is based on your choice. You'll be completing the matching web quest for that person. You will use an investigation recording sheet to log in your learning. Phase 3, you will partner with other students. You'll become a small group who have also become experts in the same historical figure, and together you're going to build a Glogster presentation that includes all of the elements that you found in your investigation recording document. Phase 4, you're going to use the Jing screen capture for your presentation. Remember, Jing is the sunshine that's right up here in the corner of the top right-hand corner of your screens on your Chromebooks. This Jing screen capture will allow you to give your presentation a narrative audio that you can record, and I've given you those directions right here. In phase 5, you're going to share your presentation online using Seesaw. Those links will then be shared with the 6th Cavalry Museum for competition. The top presentations from each 5th grade in our county will serve as exhibits on their website for the year. So that's very, very exciting. Let's go ahead and go to our process tab. And in our process tab, you're going to find that this is where some of the web quests are housed. As the project grows and grows, we'll add more web quests to this particular process page. Right now, we only have 4. But this is where you'll find all the resources you need to learn about your historical figure. The Wright brothers, Rosie the Riveter, George Washington Carver, and Babe Ruth. Each one of these has really interesting information and specific resources that your teachers have chosen to help you. Let's go ahead and click on the Wright brothers. I'm going to open this in the new tab just for our video presentation. You can open it yourself just by clicking. The Wright brothers, When Things Go Right, a web quest on Wilbur and Orville Wright. These particular web quests are set up very similar, if almost just like, your Engaged Learning Group project website. So you'll find some familiarity in that and be able to navigate very quickly. Again, you have an introduction that talks about the Smithsonian. You have tasks. And in these tasks, you'll find that there are two parts. The first part is completing your investigation on the Wright brothers, using that investigation sheet, finding 10 historical facts about the Wright brothers, listing 3 major accomplishments and 3 major impacts that they had on history. Part 2 is when you go to work with your group or your partner, and that's where your Glogster comes in. Again, you can access this information from this website or your Engage Learning group website as well. Okay? Awesome. Let's go back to this web quest. In the process of the web quest, it's going to look a little different than the process that you have on your website. In this process page, you're going to see that there are different elements or different types of resources that you can see. First, you're going to have an excerpt that you can listen to from wrightbrothers.com. Next, you're going to see that there's an image that you can click on that will take you to an exhibit of the Smithsonian. Again, I'm going to open it in a new tab so that it keeps all of our tabs open up here, but it's going to take you directly to the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum, and you have tons of interactive information here about Orville and Wilbur themselves. If you scroll down, there are going to be some videos that come from biography.com. Clicking on those videos will take you directly to the links that share the information about the Wright brothers. Down below, there are some biography sites for articles about the Wright brothers from some Ohio resources that we were able to find, and also some images from Ohio History Central, an archive website that we located. So once you finish going through all of those pieces of information, then you can, and putting the information onto your investigation sheet, then you'll be able to see how you did in the evaluation. The evaluation page has a link. See if it'll come up to it. The evaluation page is going to have a link to a Glogster evaluation. Remember that when we're going through our different pieces that we open, when you click on the Glogster evaluation, it is going to ask you to make a copy. It's important that you go ahead and make a copy of your Glogster presentation evaluation rubric because it makes it your own. If you're logged in to walkerschools.org inside your Google Classroom, then this copy of Glogster will not show up. It will show up as your name there specifically. If you're not within our Walker Schools circle, then it will show up as copy and you can rename it for yourself. This Glogster presentation has the directions that for you, a brief biography needs to be included, talking about the beginning, middle, and end of the person's life. You need to list at least 3 of their major accomplishments, but you need to also give a detailed description of how they impacted history. Down at the bottom it says, using Jing, create a screencast video of your presentation with clear audio and fluid presentation. Here is your rubric. Remember, as always, you want to focus on level 4 productivity. For your biography, we're going to be expecting you to include a complete story of the person's life, beginning, middle, and end. You also need to have at least 3 accomplishments discussed. You need to have an impact explained completely. You also need to include a video that is present and adds engagements. You can choose one of the videos that you had from your web quest, or you can find another video about your particular historical person. Your audio is present and is clear. You need to make sure that you probably write out a script for all of your group to follow to make sure that you're not giving me too many ums or ohs or pauses in your audio. Make it very clear and ready to go. So that is your final Glogster evaluation. Finally, in the conclusion of your particular web quest, it says, well done. You've completed your research, finished your investigation organizer, and created it should be Glogster there. I'll change that. You're ready to move on to the next piece of the Smithsonian project. And the next piece, you can go back to your tasks. So if you're confused and you're like, the next piece, I thought it was done, then you can go back down to your part 2, make sure you have all of your Glogster completed, and you can return back to your Engage Learning Group project. It's here that you can return to your process, or your task, and you have just completed your phase 3. So once you've gone through your web quest, you've done your Glogster, then you can go into phase 4 where you screen capture your presentation, you give a narrative, and then phase 5. And that's where you share your presentation online using Seesaw. That is all of the process for the particular Engaged Learning Group Smithsonian project. Your evaluation is also located here, and it gives the same Glogster evaluation that we gave before. So now all you have to do is anticipate. You have reached the final phase of the project, anticipation. Will your group be chosen as the top presentation for your school? Those announcements will be made soon. I wish you all the luck in the world. I'll be here to facilitate. If you need to review this video, go ahead and do that, and I will be talking to you soon.